Yes, people, it's Jacob on the one up top, and I want to do my usual segment on the Tuesday/Wednesday where we talk everything Tottenham, the current affairs around the club, and you know, leading up to what's going to happen in the future. So, you know, the first thing I'm going to do is start off by talking about what happened at the weekend. We all saw the result, which was an emphatic 5-1 against Newcastle. It wasn't as routine as you think. When you see a 5-1, you think to yourself, well, a team got battered throughout the whole game. But it wasn't like that. Um, it was a lethargic first half an hour of the game. It was one of those ones where at the time I was stressed, but when you look at it and deep it properly, it was more to do with the international break and the fact that as a fan, I'm used to what I saw before the period where we beat West Ham. So it was a good thing that we went into the first half, half-time 1-1. Effectively, even though we weren't playing brilliantly, we still deserved to be winning that game, if that makes sense. Like we weren't great, but Newcastle weren't emphatic or anything like that. So I think we deserved to be winning it. Ben Davies just galvanised everybody. I think it galvanised the team, it galvanised the crowd, it galvanised Conte. If we go into that half-time break 1-0 down, I don't think his half-time chit-chat is the same as what it was as soon as Ben Davies equalised. So I was not as I wasn't overly happy, but I couldn't complain too tough. I just think that Hugo Lloris 9 times out of 10 saves that free kick, even though it was straight at him. I'm not a goalkeeper. I've played in goal before, and I always wonder how they save things with their hands, and I don't even think I would have got to that with my feet. So I'm not going to blame Hugo too tough. But the fact of the matter was we were 1-0 down, and I was grumpy as hell. So when we get that equaliser, it was great. Second half, all down to Harry Kane. He's the geezer's on the next level right now. His passing ability, what he brought to the game. It's like he woke up and realised that just staying in the number 9 position wasn't going to be enough for him. It wasn't going to be enough for the team. He stepped up. As soon as he stepped up, you could tell that Son made the runs that he wasn't making in the first half, because Son wasn't making the runs relying on sort of Højbjerg to release those passes. He's looking at Harry Kane. Harry Kane's further forward than him. So as soon as he dropped off, it all clicked. Kuzelevsky, no, I just love the geezer. He works hard, he drives, he's direct. His influence on goals, his goal involvements, what he did for Son's goal. Realistically, you're looking at him thinking most wingers would slow that down just a notch, but he literally just took the touch and went forward, and I don't think the fullback anticipated it. Because he took that extra bit of urgency, it allowed for Son to wake up, and it was an easy goal for him, whereas I don't think not too many wingers in the league would do that. Salah is probably the best winger in the league, but I think he picks up that ball trying to pick up an opportunity for himself. Mane the same, because these guys get goals, but Kuzelevsky just, what an addition. That second half just made me think, if you can play most halves like that, we had 10 shots on targets and scored 4 goals, and realistically, we could have easily had 7 goals in a half, and that's me looking at the Spurs team over the period of a season, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but it was great to see it. The fullbacks, everyone knows off my social media that with the fullbacks, I thought they were going to destroy my Sunday afternoon, but between the two of them, they got 2 goals and an assist. So there's me thinking that I know what I'm talking about, and a lot of Tottenham fans what they're knowing about, but that's the reason why Conte gets the big bucks for managing the team, and that's why we're spectators and hope that he gets the job done properly. So very happy with that performance. If I'm a realist, so I look at it and think Newcastle let us do it. There was no reaction. If you look at what David Shinola said about that, it was like Newcastle took the lead, no reaction. We equalised, no reaction. And then it got to the point where we took the lead, no reaction. So I was just like, well, what were Newcastle doing? Did they think they were turning up for a testimonial? I didn't really understand that, but it doesn't really bother me. You know, if Arsenal beat them or Chelsea beat them 5-1, I'll be annoyed. But it was us, so I'm over the moon with that. So I can put that to bed. I was excited and happy for a couple of days, but then as a football man, I know that enjoy that for a day or two and move on. So before I move on to, the next thing I want to talk about Spurs, we move on and hope that Crystal Palace do their thing. And my gosh, they did more than do their thing. It's like they absolutely smashed Arsenal. And, if I'm going to be honest, I'm a footballing man before anything. I didn't think Arsenal would do an Arsenal again for a long time. I looked at the fixture against Palace and I thought it would be banter if they lose it because of Vieira and all that stuff. But I generally thought, okay, I don't think Arsenal will lose it. I thought it could be a draw. And if anyone's going to win it, it'd be Arsenal. But they literally got put to the sword without Palace having too many chances. Palace took their chances, and to be fair, Arsenal didn't take theirs. So, and they obviously put a dent in the in the goal difference. So it's like you couldn't have asked for a better weekend/Monday. But as much as I enjoyed last night, shout out to Coys.com. They had me on the podcast yesterday, and you'll see how excited I was because while Carl was asking all the questions, I went a bit mad. So it's one of those that we enjoy the moment, but we move on to the next. So if it gets to the point we're going to move on to the next, we look at, Tottenham as well as Arsenal's fixtures, and what I'm going to say for, what the flavour is for the next couple of weeks is that Brighton need to brighten up my next couple of weeks because they entertain Arsenal away and then they entertain us the following week. So you'd like to think that, if we're going to get top four, it would be nice if Brighton can go and do us a favour at the Emirates and, get a draw or a win and then allow us to do what we've been doing to them over the course of the season and batter them, because we battered them at home in the FA Cup, we battered them away. Just let us batter you one more time while you're going to do Arsenal over. I doubt any Brighton fans or players are listening to this, but, that's what I wish for. I still think Arsenal, even though they're under a bit of turmoil with their injuries and stuff, I think they'll just get over the line with that one. And they kick off at 3 o'clock just before we do at 5:30 as we go away to Aston Villa. Potentially, I might be going to that game and might have to sit with the Villa fans. So if I do, wish me luck. But if I look at the Villa game, traditionally, we've had some good results at Villa. Like, I've gone to a few games away at Aston Villa because I know people that can get me tickets there. And I've never gone there and lost. We've never gone there and lost. I can't even remember the time we lost at Villa Park. It's been a while. I know we lost at home to Villa. I remember Benteke scoring and that securing their safety in the Premier League. But we do well against Villa away. I remember Harry Kane scoring his free kick. I remember we went down to 10 men not long ago and battered them 4-0 with Bale and Van der Vaart. We were there last season and we were losing, and then I remember Son scoring last minute to get a winner there. So we do quite well at Villa Park. For me, Stevie G, is trying to still find that formula. And while he's trying to do that, he's got a squad of players that are already on the beach. So I think Stevie G won't admit it to anybody, but in the back of his mind, he'll be thinking, no matter what I do, these players ain't going to react because we haven't got anything to play for. So I'm hoping that I'm right in that way of thinking. And he tries something different and it doesn't work. And if I'm going to be honest, when I do my prediction on what's going to happen in that game, I think that's what will happen. You've got players like Danny Ings that are out of sorts. You've got Ollie Watkins who grafts and I think is a very underrated player. But he's not really scoring many goals. He's only scored one more goal than Jacob Ramsey. And they're a team that, as much as I do like Aston Villa and the way they play, they are missing Grealish. You stick Grealish in that team right now, they're probably 3 or 4 places above, just because he's the sort of player that gives that club a sense of belief. He galvanises the way and the thoughts of fans and everything like that. So I think if it's the Aston Villa that turn up against, like they did against Arsenal and Wolves, we should be able to beat them. And everyone seems to think that we're going to counter-attack Aston Villa. If Aston Villa want to push us, push up against us, I think we'll counter you and score that way. But I think the football that we're playing recently, we can probably play them off the park anyway. It just depends what Villa and what players turn up. We look at Coutinho. He's been out of sorts for the last couple of weeks, but if he decides this is the game where I want to turn up and put myself in the shop window if I'm not staying at Aston Villa, this is a perfect scenario for him. He's been rumoured against going to Tottenham in favour of Arsenal. So, if those rumours are true, then of course he's going to want to turn up against this and then just, say to Arteta, are you sure you don't want me? But I think if I'm going to throw my hat on this one, I think we'll beat them. I'm more fearful of Aston Villa coming to our ground. I think we struggled more with Aston Villa at home than we have away. When we're away, we've had some good results. So I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 because Aston Villa is still trying to find that guy that's going to lead them to, they haven't got no one in the change room that's saying, don't worry about it, guys. You do what you got to do while banging the goals. You got Ollie Watkins that tries. You got Danny Ings is trying to find himself. But, if they were, fighting for a European place, or better yet, they were struggling for relegation, then you'd find that guy. But I think because they're in the middle, they're not going to get relegated, they're not going to get Europe. All of them are probably looking towards next season. That's probably Steven Gerrard included, even though he's got to try and give them a push to push forward. I think the only thing I'd worry about is that Stevie G is trying to get certain victories under his belt to tick it off and say, I beat Conte in a one-on-one. I beat Pep, Klopp, So you'd like to look at it and think, I can outwit these managers. I don't think he'll do it this season, but he'll be looking at it and trying to learn because he's still in a learning curve. Rangers was a different proposition to what he's doing now. So you'll be looking at next season and thinking a top 8 finish should be a minimum, not just for himself, but for Aston Villa, because if he wants to take that next leap and take the reins of Klopp in the next few years, you can't be finishing 12th with Aston Villa and Liverpool taking you serious, even though as a player, you're arguably their best ever player along with Kenny Dalglish. So I think we'll win that game. If I look at all the rivals around us, tricky games. I look at Arsenal and they should beat Brighton, but Brighton are a very good footballing side that aren't scoring goals. And Arsenal fans will tell you, as much as Tottenham fans will tell you, that the North London teams, if there's a team that are struggling for form, struggling for goals, struggling to keep clean sheets, just play Arsenal or Tottenham and you'll get what you need. It's like we're a genie. Just rub Arsenal or rub Tottenham and you'll get what's required. So I look at Brighton and think they're not scoring goals, they're not doing great. Maybe that's if my analogy is correct, then maybe they'll do that and go and score a goal. And if they score a goal, they do play some good football, Brighton, to be fair. They're just not getting the results to reflect that. And if that happens at 3 o'clock, we go to our game, and I'm fairly confident, but I'm not overly confident. I'm a Spurs fan. I've been a Spurs fan ever since I was a little boy, so I'd be stupid to be overly confident. I wasn't even overly confident against Morecambe at home, and even though we beat them 3-1, we was 1-0 down for an hour, so never confident as a Spurs fan. I'll be quietly confident, but not boastfully confident. I think the only time I've ever been that confident is under Pochettino, and we still didn't win anything. So I think this could be another week that could be pivotal. Football's a funny game. As much as I'm predicting Tottenham to win and Arsenal to drop points, it could easily go the other way around. And last weekend was pointless. Arsenal losing to Palace and us beating Newcastle. If we drop points to Aston Villa and they beat Brighton, then what was the point of this weekend? I might as well have played chess. You know, I don't even know how to play chess, but I might as well have done it because it was pointless. So, yeah, I look forward to this weekend. You know, there's not too much going on around Tottenham besides concentrating on Champions League football. We all know that we need this for Harry Kane to stay, for Conte to stay. And if them two stay, then it galvanises everything. The fans have confidence. Players that aren't good enough get sold and they understand the reason why they get sold. And the players that are good enough know that they need to step up next season. There's more players that ain't good enough rather than not. But to be fair to Conte, he is getting a tune out of some of the players that I would have got rid of about 10 weeks ago. You know, you got Eric Dyer, pivotal. You got Romero that was injured for ages and you're wondering what he's going to be like when he comes back. Arguably top 5 centre-halves in the Premier League at the moment. You got Matt Doherty, who drove me mad at right back, but he's playing left back and not only playing well, scoring goals. Emerson Royal, still the jury's out with this guy. But he had a good game. I can't sit there and criticise him at the minute because he had a good game and got his goal as well. You got Højbjerg, who is having a stinker of a season. He's got back to the Højbjerg that we know. And then, you know, with Kane and Son and the new additions of Kuzelewski and Bentancur, it's just, it feels like it's a brand new Tottenham. Like, if there's Spurs fans out there, feel free to comment. But it feels like we've had 2 seasons. Like, it feels like we had Nuno last season. That's how mad it is. We had Nuno last season. We were top of the league. And then all of a sudden, it's like we're mid-table. We don't know who we're going to get. Players, you know, Harry Kane. It was mad. It feels like we've had 2 seasons in one. So I'm just glad that if we have had 2 seasons in one, the latter is going quite smartly. But, yeah. I'm feeling confident that Tottenham are going to have another good weekend, regardless of the Arsenal result, regardless of United. You know, United have got a tough one against Everton. Everton are fighting for their lives. And I feel that Man United still ain't out of it, but the way they're playing football and Ronaldo being out, Bruno Fernandes playing up front, you'd like to think that our momentum and the disarray in that club doesn't allow for them, along with West Ham concentrating on the Europa League. So if you asked me 2 weeks ago, who's going to get top 4? I'd have been like, come on, man. It's going to be Arsenal. If it's not Arsenal, it'd be Man United, because we were at a point where we'd lost to United and it wasn't looking great. You know, granted, we beat Leeds and Everton, but relegation candidates, you should be beating them, whether it's 5-0 or 1-0. That should be a win. But if I look at it now, I don't want to get too cocky, but the momentum swing is with us. And I feel that if we get another little bit of a swing this weekend, you know, everybody's fearful of what Spurs are going to do. Harry Kane is carrying us. Son's finding his form again. You're getting Bergwijn, who, you know, based off international status, he should be getting more opportunities that he does. And when he gets the opportunity, he's scoring the goal. Lucas Moura is trying because he wants to be part of this squad. It just feels like everybody wants to do it, whether they're good enough or not. So right now, at this minute, confident that we'll get the top 4. But we all know it's Tottenham Hotspur. You know, we're excellent. We're the masters at putting the pressure on. But when it comes to doing the business and, you know, laying the butter on the bread, you know what I mean? There's more chance of me, and there's more chance of me not eating my dinner than Tottenham doing what I need them to do over the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm definitely going to eat my dinner. Tottenham definitely ain't going to do that. So I'd like to think that we're going to push. I think there's going to be plenty of twists, but I just look at the fixture lists of Manchester United, Arsenal, and, you know, the increasing one of West Ham, and I feel quietly confident. You know, don't quote me on that. Don't sit there and give me grief. And if you give me grief, I'm like, I've supported Tottenham long enough that I knew before you. So, yeah, that's me with my opinion on this weekend's football. That's me and my opinion on what's going on with Tottenham right now. I'll keep delivering my opinion on what I feel is happening with Tottenham, whether it be the club, what's happening on the pitch, players, Daniel Levy, ENIC out. You know, I could easily go on about other things, but I'm going to keep it positive. We've got, you know, a good run in. It's going to be exciting. you know, the NLD's been rescheduled to the 12th of May, so I'm going to link up with my best friend, who's a gooner. We're gonna have a good night. I just look forward to the running. I'm looking forward to not only just the top four running, but the Premier League running. You know, I still think Liverpool are going to do that. And the bottom, the bottom three, as much as Burnley are looking a bit dodgy, I still think Everton might fall in there. So it's all to play for. You know, it's the running's brilliant. I love the Premier League for what it brings, and hopefully Tottenham can push forward. But yeah, I'm going to sign out now. If you're listening now, thanks for listening. You know, I've got a lot of time, love and respect for the people that are listening to me, following me, and I just want to create something bigger. You know, all I do is talk about Tottenham, and in my mind, if it got to the point where someone invited me to commentate on a game, that would be the pinnacle, you know, or commentating or sitting there with punditries of, you know, absolute legends, being able to sit there and do that. So I'm doing it on social media. Social media is the platform I can do it on. So if you're listening, if you ain't done it already, just like, share, subscribe, comment, do whatever just to keep listening to me and support. So if you're going to do it going forward, love and respect from the bottom of my heart, because I've been wanting to do this for ages. And I just want to keep going. You know, I love talking anyway. Everybody that knows me personally knows that I spend a lot of time talking a lot of rubbish. But if I can talk Tottenham, I can talk football, and you lot like me to, you know, like listening to what I can deliver, then just keep liking, subscribing, and, you know, keep giving me feedback, whether you think I'm an idiot or think it's brilliant. So it's Jacob signing out on the one up top. Love you all. Have a blessed Tuesday, and yeah, listen out for more content. I've got the the weekend predictions coming up. I've been doing okay. I've had a good few guesses, but I'm not a genie. So listen out for my predictions on Thursday or Friday, and watch out for my reaction on the Villa Spurs game. You know, apologies for not doing one on Newcastle. I had a few issues and I had to take care of my kids. So, you know, I took my priorities, and I'll continue and push forward with the reactions next week. So listen out for everything I've got. And if you want to be the first people to catch what I'm doing and what I'm speaking about, just subscribe to the channel, put your notifications on, and listen out for me, because I'm going to keep bringing it, and I'm going to keep going till I get to be the one up top. Take care and good night.